Hey there, I'm Joe Carter. If you've ever popped the hood and thought, where do I even start? You're in good company. Around here, we take the mystery out of car repair, one fix at a time. Whether you're a beginner or just looking to sharpen your skills, there's something here for you. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe if you're into learning without the headaches. All right, that's enough from me. Let's get into it.
If you fail to start the engine with the key, this does not mean that the attempt to start the car with a pusher will succeed. This type of revitalization can be applied to start a car with serviceable ignition and fuel supply systems. The malfunction must be hidden either in a dead battery or in a broken starter. If the voltage at the battery terminals is within the normal range, and the starter cheerfully turns the crankshaft, then, most likely, the problem cannot be solved by pushing the starter. When the battery can still crank the engine, but the starting force is no longer sufficient, it is better to stop torturing the car. Injector engine requires minimal battery charge to generate a powerful spark and supply voltage to the injectors. In addition, the situation may be aggravated by flooded plugs, a fairly common phenomenon in unsuccessful attempts to start the internal combustion engine. Carburetor engine can be started even with a completely dead battery. Before you start the car with a pusher, you need to agree on a signal to stop. You can use a horn or blink your headlights. During towing, be sure to turn on the emergency alarm system. Sequence of actions. In order to start the car properly, follow the following sequence of actions. Accelerate the vehicle to 20 to 30 km/h. Turn the key to the third position, on. This will turn on the ignition, supplying power to the vehicle's main systems. Depress the clutch and engage either second or third gear. First gear should not be engaged due to the high gear ratio, which will result in higher shock loads. As soon as the engine starts and runs steadily, depress the clutch. Now you can signal the driver of the towing vehicle to stop and remove the tow rope. Some subtleties. If the reason for starting with a push start is a dead battery, do not immediately turn off the engine. Let the car run for a while to recharge the battery. It is best to turn off electrical appliances and keep the engine RPM around 2000 RPM for 1 to 2 minutes. It is quite difficult to start the car using this method in severe frost. The engine and gearbox will have thickened oil, which increases the friction force between the parts. In rear-wheel drive cars, thickened lubricant will also be in the gearbox, and in off-road cars, also in the transfer case. Of course, it is much more difficult to move such a car, as well as to turn the engine. Thick oil is much more difficult to pump through the lubrication system. Sometimes attempts to start the car on a slippery surface can lead to the fact that the wheels are blocked, instead of starting to rotate the crankshaft. Therefore, in such conditions, it is better to choose third gear, and prepare for several attempts. How the automatic transmission and variator will react to a push start. In no case, do not try to start the engine with a push start. If your car is equipped with an automatic transmission or variator, this is more likely to put the unit out of action. This happens due to the design features of gearboxes, which use oil pressure to change gear ratios when transferring torque from the engine to the wheels. On the net you can come across a manual describing how to properly start a car with an automatic transmission. In it you will find recommendations on the sequence of changing the automatic transmission modes and a certain number of kilometers to be covered to create pressure in the system. We do not recommend to start a car with automatic transmission or variator with a tie. Repair in case of breakdown will cost much more than a tow truck. Robotic transmissions in which the change of gears is carried out with the help of a servo drive. It is quite possible to start with a pusher. This applies to simple robots. For example, DSG cannot be started by this method. But here robotized gearboxes, installed on Lada Priora, allow to start the car with a tie. But it is still not worth abusing it. Diesel. If you do decide to start the diesel engine from the Pushbike, choose 3 or 4 gear. Otherwise, adhere to the recommendations described for gasoline engines. Whether you can start a car from a Pushbike. In conclusion, Knowing how to start a car from a pushbike is an essential skill for every driver. Whether you're dealing with a manual or an automatic transmission, understanding the mechanics behind the process can make a significant difference in emergency situations. Always remember to ensure safety first, check your surroundings, and follow the proper steps to engage the engine effectively. By mastering this technique, you not only enhance your driving knowledge but also prepare yourself for unexpected challenges on the road. Thank you for watching, and stay safe out there.